It is Thursday, the 30th of October, and for the next hour, we're going to run through all the latest and greatest news from the world of AI. We're going to be covering all the major news stories to start with, and then we're going to go through some product updates and things that you should be paying attention to if you want to get ahead applying AI to your work, to your project, or you just want to keep up to speed with actually what is going on. So, first major story of the last 24 hours is Nvidia hit a $5 trillion valuation as the AI boom powers the meteoric rise. The Wall Street milestone underscores the company's swift transformation from a niche graphics chip designer into the backbone of the global AI industry. I remember when $1 trillion companies was actually huge, but now we actually have Nvidia hitting $5 trillion, which is absolutely insane. I don't know if there is a full story on this. Let me have a look. I actually don't think that. Oh, yeah. There we go. We're on the wrong story. Okay, so stock rallied after major deals underscoring AI optimism. Trump's to discuss NVIDIA chips meeting with Xi Jinping, because at the moment, NVIDIA don't do any of their trading legally anyway. I mean, there's chips that find their way over to China through unofficial methods, but they don't actually have any business in China. And Trump's open to discussing Blackwell, I think, which is their most powerful chip, with Xi Jinping. And the stock rallied, adding billions to the CEO's wealth and tipping NVIDIA over the $5 trillion mark. So this is the first company ever to reach $5 trillion market value. And the Wall Street milestone underscores the company's swift transformation from a niche graphics chip designer into the backbone of the global AI industry. I mean, it's NVIDIA all the way down, which is absolutely insane. Since the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, NVIDIA shares have climbed 12-fold as the AI frenzy propelled the S&P 500 to record highs, igniting a debate on whether frothy tech valuations could lead to the next big bubble. The new milestone comes just 3 months after NVIDIA breached the $4 trillion mark. So it added $1 trillion in value in 3 months, which is insane. Quote here from Matt Britzman, senior equity analyst at Hargreaves Lansdown, says NVIDIA hitting the $5 trillion market cap is more than a milestone. It's a statement as NVIDIA has gone from chip maker to industry creator. The market continues to underestimate the scale of the opportunity, and NVIDIA remains one of the best ways to play the AI theme. Yeah, I bet that. Here you go. NVIDIA's bull run leaves the Mag 7 far behind. Obviously, you've got Alphabet, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and NVIDIA just smoking them all. That puts Jensen's stake in NVIDIA at $180 billion, $179.2 billion. What a story. Congrats, Jensen. Congrats to NVIDIA, and thanks for all the stuff you're doing to power the AI industry. That's absolutely awesome. Next story. NHS launches an AI trial to diagnose prostate cancer up to a month faster. So the NHS now trialing an AI-powered one-day diagnostics pathway for prostate cancer across up to 15 hospitals, aiming to slash diagnostic waiting times by a week. See, you know, when people talk about AI is going to kill us all and the doom and gloom, we should pause AI and stuff like this, I don't think they ever really consider the things that that can just spring up on an average day. Just being able to diagnose prostate cancer quickly and within a day is just epic. Imagine if this rolls out across the country or across multiple countries, how many lives this is going to save. So it goes on to say the NHS began a pioneering trial using AI to transform how prostate cancer is diagnosed. The new approach is now being tested in hospitals across England and could dramatically cut waiting times and help detect cancer earlier, potentially changing how thousands of men receive care. So there's 15 hospitals in this pilot, with Leeds Teaching Hospitals NHS Trust initiating the scheme, with around 100 men expecting to benefit. If a scan is found to have high-risk cancer by the AI software, it'll be sent immediately to the radiologist for a priority review. Okay, so it's actually diagnosing it way quicker. England's top cancer doctor said the quicker diagnosis pathway could help save men weeks of worry and uncertainty, and comes as part of a central NHS and government plan to diagnose cancer more quickly. If this is successful, the pathway will be rolled out widely across the NHS, enabling thousands of people to be diagnosed and treated sooner. Now, this is just kind of one type of cancer too. Can you imagine how many people could have their lives change, because obviously we know if you can diagnose cancer faster, then you can save a bunch of lives. Imagine if you roll this out across, breast cancer, for instance, or additional cancers, then you're going to be able to save tons of lives. So currently, patients should receive an MRI and biopsy within 7 days of an urgent GP referral for a suspected prostate cancer. Still, depending on radiologists' capacities, can take longer in some areas. The AI tool named Pi was developed by Lucinda Medical and has shown it can spot 95% of cancers. It will be used in 10,000 scans to assist radiologists in reporting cancers in decision making for the next step. It just goes on to talk about how speed is crucial and how prostate cancer is devastating. Lots of people die from it each year. So this is awesome. We absolutely love to read it. Superhuman. Okay, if you are in the tech world, you may be confused with these two companies. There's a tool called Superhuman for email, and now there was Grammarly. Grammarly bought Superhuman, is now rebranding to Superhuman. So you can remember Superhuman as that email product. Grammarly bought them, and they've taken their brand. So typically, when a company, it's a story from TechCrunch, typically when a company acquires another, it will absorb the new company's branding or integrate it with its own identity. So usually the acquiring company buys a company and they just kind of acqui-hire in, and the kind of that brand goes away. But this is done the absolute reverse. They bought the company and then taken the name and the brand. Grammarly is doing something different. After acquiring email client Superhuman in July, the company is renaming itself Superhuman. Despite the branding change, Grammarly, the product, will continue to be known as it is. However, the company says it's thinking about rebranding products like Coda, the productivity platform it acquired last year, in the long run. The company is also launching an AI assistant called Superhuman Go that's built into Grammarly's existing extension. The assistant can provide writing suggestions and give feedback on emails. You can even connect with other apps like Jira, Gmail, Google Drive, and Google Calendar to arm it with more context. So if you've tried it before, you've likely seen these type of actions inside of your email, and users can now try Superhuman Go by turning it on in a toggle in the Grammarly extension, which will then connect it to different apps. Users can also try out the different agents in the company's agent store, which include a plagiarism checker and a proofreader. Okay, I think there's actually a video of this, but let me see if I can find it. I think I pull it up. Here we go. This is it. Meet Superhuman, the new AI platform that combines powerful tools like Grammarly, Superhuman Mail, and Coda and Go, our new proactive AI assistant. Write, research, automate, schedule, and organize, all in one subscription. So we're seeing more and more companies roll more and more features into one place. There is the argument that everyone's building the same thing, but I don't think so. In this case, Grammarly is an absolute beast, and so is Superhuman. So this could work really well. Let's watch the vid. Great domain name, Superhuman. Okay, so Coda, Grammarly, and Superhuman all in one place. No reply yet. This is a good question, actually. Can you clarify what happens with the existing Grammarly subs? My sub is coming up for renewal in a couple of weeks, and if I log in now, I only have access to Grammarly with the old branding and stuff. I'm very confused about where to go and what to do. Yeah, so we need to figure out how they are going to do that. There is a full blog post on the Grammarly site saying becoming Superhuman, and it goes into much more detail about how it works, and there's a longer or a short video of how it works too. So this is Superhuman Go. Maybe you can actually see this too. Let's start again. I like all this proactive AI stuff, that when you should just be aware of what you're trying to do and then surface a little action for you. That's what this does here. Trying to book a meeting, surface up when you're available. Yeah, this goes into the full detail of what it entails. If you want to read it, go to grammarly.com and then it's /blog/company introducing you superhuman. Okay, Wolf Financial. Breaking news. OpenAI prepares for IPO, targeting up to $1 trillion valuation, planning to raise at least 60 billion with a listing in 2027. That was very fast from zero. Not from zero to IPO, but from ChatGPT to IPO. Company aims to file as soon as H2 2026 at $1 trillion. OpenAI would enter public markets as one of the most valuable companies ever to IPO, surpassing Meta's 104 billion debut in 2012. OpenAI's valuation has surged from 29 billion in early 2023, 157 billion in its most recent private round. Just weeks ago, the company generates over 3 billion annual revenue, primarily from ChatGPT subscription and API access. The time capitalized on the AI infrastructure boom, driving Nvidia to 5 trillion and a massive data center and driving Nvidia to 5 trillion and massive data center investment. Okay. Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI's profits through a 13 billion investment and provides Azure cloud infrastructure powering ChatGPT. A $60 billion raise would be the largest IPO capital raise in history. The 2027 timeline gives OpenAI 18 months to scale revenue and demonstrate sustainable economics before going public. Okay. Bold, but 1 trillion in 2027. Is there any good reaction here? But looks like they're going to be needing the cash to scale up, build out all these new infrastructure products, and it seems like an IPO may be the best way to do it. They've obviously just recently restructured too, so this might lend to that. Maybe they were sandbagging this announcement until they restructured. Okay, on a slightly less ambitious note, and it comes from the EU, the EPDS unveils revised guidance on generative AI, strengthening data protection, rapidly changing digital era. There's obviously been a lot of back and forth about the EU over-regulating AI, and looks like we're getting some more guidance. The EDS unveils revised guidance on generative AI. Has today published its revised and updated guidelines on the use of generative artificial intelligence and processing of personal data by EU institutions, bodies, offices, and agencies, reflecting the fast-moving technology landscape and evolving challenges posed by generative AI. Such a contrast between, say, like the US or the UAE or other countries where you can just kind of build what you want as long as you're not doing any harm. But there is seems like there's a bit of over-regulation going on in the EU, and it's an already stagnated technology industry, and we don't need more guidelines. I think we need less. But this updated guidance reinforces the commitment to advising to help them fully comply with their data protection obligations out in regulation. It feels just painful to be able to do anything. Building on the feedback from the revised guidance of a clearer, more practical instructions for the responsible development and deployment of generative AI tools, a refined definition of generative AI for greater clarity and consistency. Okay, that seems positive. A new action-oriented compliance checklist. We have a checklist to help EUIs assess and ensure the lawfulness of their processing activities, clarified roles and responsibilities, detailed advice on lawful basis, purpose, litigation, limitation, and the handling of data subjects rights in the context of generative AI. So this is a quote from Wojciech, who works in the European Data Protection as a European Data Protection Supervisor. Artificial intelligence is an extension of human ingenuity, and the rules governing it must evolve just as dynamically. This first revision of our orientations is more than an update. It's a reformation of a dual mission, enabling human-centric innovation within the EU while rigorously safeguarding individuals' personal data. With this new vision, we provide hands-on guidance to ensure that any generative AI used by the EU institutions serve the public interest without compromising Europe's data standards. It doesn't actually say exactly what has been changed. And I think this is part of the problem too. So there's a lot of regulation that always gets pushed out of the EU, and obviously its bureaucracy is a big business in the EU. It's like a sport, and because this changes so quickly, like who actually knows like what the regulations are? Like the EU AI Act came in, and companies and startups had to dance around it with what they can and can't build, for instance. And now this, like, how does everyone keep up with the changes, like the additional, like additions, taking like removals, changes? Good, just to say, okay, like these are going to be the regulations. We're going to grow Europe. We're going to promote AI. These are the regulations that are going to be set for the next, I don't know, 5 years. These are going to be the clear regulations. Go and build your company, and we're going to revisit this in 5 years. But I also see, yeah, it needs to be dynamic because AI changes quickly, but you can kind of get like a good understanding of what like AI does and the powers of it. But I think at the moment we're seeing a lot of companies flee from the EU to the US once they kind of get some traction on their business idea, just because it's a much easier place, a much more business friendly place at the moment. It's from the European Data Protection Supervisor. Okay, Composer is a new product from Cursor. So this is their new agent model designed for software engineering intelligence and speed. On the new benchmarks, the model achieves frontier coding results with generation speed 4 times faster than similar results. So they're comparing best over best frontier, frontier, composer, and best frontier. We achieved these results. This is their first coding model, by the way, Cursor. We achieved these results by training the model to complete real-world software engineering challenges in large code bases. During training, Composer was given access to a set of production search and editing tools with tasked with efficiently solving a diverse range of problems. The final result is a large-scale model optimized for high-speed use as an agent in Cursor. So Cursor, they just released, I think, Agent 2. Let me just find the blog. So this is it. Cursor 2.0. It's basically less of an IDE and more of a you're just prompting agents to do stuff. So you see here, agents turn ideas. Yeah, we can zoom out a bit. Agent turns ideas into code. The human AI programmer orders of magnitude more effective than any developer alone. So you basically give it a task and you can see which one's in progress and which ones are ready for review. You don't actually code bit by bit and keep tabbing. I mean, you can tab depending on which route you like to go. There's also this. So if it will auto suggest fixes and you can just tab through and make those changes. It gives you a bit more control. But now you can do this directly inside the Cursor with this brand new coding model called Composer. This is the release of Cursor 2.0. This was yesterday. I think we can actually watch this. Zoom in, make sure you can see it. That's clever. Cool. So that's Cursor 2.0. You can see, I think the main difference here at the start of the video, you could see before it was like an IDE and then you had the AI chat panel on the right-hand side. And now you've got a dedicated agent view with tasks on the left and then your conversational window in the middle where you can set agents off on tasks across multiple models and then compare their outputs before you want to merge it in. So that actually looks very good. And Composer is a frontier model that's 4 times faster than similarly intelligent models. Okay. Good job, Cursor team. Next up, we have a news story from Character AI. So, Character AI, they are a kind of like online AI persona consumer product where you can go on, you can have conversations with different characters, you can go through stories, you can do role play, whatever it is. And they've had been relatively under fire because of younger people, maybe more impressionable people actually going and spending a lot of time on it, and then that ends up causing issues. So this is in relation to that. So it's taking bold steps to keep teen users safe from Character AI. At Character AI, our goal has always been to provide an engaging space that fosters creativity while maintaining a safe environment for everybody, especially teens. Over the past year, we've invested tremendous effort and resource into creating a dedicated under 18 experience. This includes the first parental insights tool on the AI market, technical protections, filtered characters, time spent notifications, and more, all designed to let teens be creative in AI with AI in safe ways. We're proud of this work, and we've steadily augmented it over time. But as the world of AI evolves, so must our approach to supporting young users. I agree. This is good. Today, we announced several important initiatives on that front. Number one, we're removing the ability for users to under 18 to engage in open-ended chat with AI on our platform. This change will take effect no later than November 25th. Between now and then, we'll be working to build an under 18 experience that still gives our teen users ways to be creative. For example, creating video stories and streams with characters during this transition period will also limit chat time. For users under 18, the limit initially will be 2 hours per day, and we'll ramp down in the coming weeks before November 25th. Okay, so if they're limiting people to 2 hours a day, then it looks like they're going to be spending an awful lot of time chatting with these characters. Second, we're rolling out new age assurance functionality to help users receive the right experience at their age. We've built an age assurance model in-house, and we'll be combining it with the leading third-party tools, including Persona. Third, they're establishing and funding an AI safety lab, which is good. The focus on novel safety techniques in collaboration with third parties to advance the state and of the art and share learnings. Given Character AI's mission, we're establishing this lab to ensure a forward-thinking safety approach for AI entertainment, making sure it receives the same levels of attention as safety research for AI use cases. Yeah, I think this is very important. We've seen ChatGPT roll out a lot of parental controls recently. Impressionable teens spending multiple hours speaking to an AI. Depending on what the AI is, you know how that could go. Seeing if there's any other things to note. It's just a note to the under 18 community who understand it's a significant change. It's going to affect the experience on their platform. But they just say, look, we're trying to help here. Okay, that is good stuff from Character AI. Another post re-safeguarding and AI stuff. OpenAI introduced a new model, a new open safety reasoning model called GPT-OSS Safeguard. The new open safety reasoning models, 120 billion and 20 billion, that support custom safety policies. Okay, so if you're looking to build in this sort of arena, you want to use a powerful model, but you want to use a model that has safeguards in place, then this might be a good option for you. Here is the post. Today, OpenAI are releasing a research preview of GPT-OSS Safeguard, our open-weight reasoning models for safety classification tasks available in 2 different sizes. These models are fine-tuned versions of GPT-OSS open models and available in the same permissive Apache 2 license, allowing anyone to modify and deploy them freely. Both models are available today on Hugging Face. Okay, so the GPT model uses reasoning to directly interpret a developer-provided policy at inference time, classifying user messages, completions, and full chats according to developer needs. The developer always decides what policy to use, so responses are more relevant and tailored to the developer's use case. Okay, this enables developers to draw the policy lines that best fit their use case. For instance, a video gaming discussion forum might want to develop a policy to classify posts that discuss cheating in the game, or a product review site might want to use its own policy to screen reviews that appear likely to be fake. A model takes 2 inputs on the content, and then it basically classifies it with reasoning. That's cool. Developers decide how, if at all, to use these conclusions in their own safety pipelines. We've seen this reasoning-based approach perform especially well in situations where The potential harm is emerging or evolving. The policies need to adapt quickly. A domain is highly nuanced and difficult for smaller classifiers to handle. So I guess what usually happens is if you're using like a big model as your main chat, like to power the main chat, then what they do, they check the messages with a smaller model because it's cheaper and it's fast to keep up the inference time with that conversation. Because if you're checking a big model with a big model, then or before this case, then it kind of slows it down, gets all buggy, or gets all the experience goes down for the user. And now they have this classifier, which seems to be large and more comprehensive, which is good for developers. Developers don't have enough samples to train a high quality classifier on each risk on the platform. Latency is less important than producing high quality explainable labels. Okay, so it's going to add a bit of latency, but it's safer. Okay, that's good from OpenAI. We love to see it. Next, we have an update from Notebook LM. So chat is now available in Notebook LM, a powerful goal-focused AI-focused research partner. Let's chat again. Chat in Notebook LM, a powerful goal-focused AI research partner. Okay, we've significantly improved chat in Notebook LM with an 8x larger context window, 6x longer conversation memory, and boosting response quality by 50%. Now, anyone can set goals in chat to better steer responses towards their custom needs. So if you haven't used Notebook LM before, let me just see if you've got a photo of it. Basically, what happens, let me just try and bring up Notebook LM. That'll make sense. It's basically a research partner, I'd like to say, or a learning partner. You can create a new notebook, for instance, and you can actually drop in a load of sources. It can be from Google Drive, a website, YouTube, or you can paste text directly in. Then you can chat with it and you can interact with it in different ways. You can chat in the box here, and then you can add notes, or you can generate reports, mind maps, video overviews, audio overviews, quizzes, or flashcards. Now they're actually improving it in a number of different ways by making all the upgrades that we just said. So 6x longer conversation memory and boosting response quality by 50%. This is just going to make the overall experience better, because if you are maybe sitting down for a long learning session and you've got like loads of docs uploaded, loads of videos uploaded, then that context window is going to fill up really quickly and it's going to kind of forget context out the back. Let's say if I upload 10 YouTube videos and 10 blogs, what's going to happen as the chat progresses and as the context fills up, then some of these blogs and YouTube videos are going to get kicked out the context window, and then your response quality will go down because it's not utilizing all the sources that you gave it. So context window is up. It's up to 1 million tokens, which is the context window of Gemini and Notebook LM now across all plans. Plus, they've increased our capacity to monitor conversation more than 6-fold, so you can get more coherent and relevant results over extended interactions, deeper insight, safe and secure conversation history, and you can personalize your chat with goals. So you can ask it to say, treat me like a PhD candidate, or act like a lead marketing strategist, or even analyze the provided material from 3 distinct perspectives. That's cool. Act as a game master, etc. That's Notebook LM. If you're actually learning anything or doing any research, or even if you just wanted to add it into your stack of research, producing docs, or learning any topic, I highly recommend it. It's an awesome product indeed. Okay, we've got some new AI-powered tools, this time from TikTok. Let me just make sure you can see this properly. Here we go. New AI-powered tools to make it easier to create and share on TikTok. It says creators are the heart and soul of TikTok, and we know how much energy, passion, and drive goes into making great content. That's why we're introducing new tools to help creators elevate their creativity and bring their vision to life. Announced today at the TikTok US Creator Summit, these tools reflect their ongoing commitment to make it easier for creators to share their idea and creativity within the TikTok community. Okay, so these are going into, I think, TikTok Studio Web. They're introducing things like Smart Split, an AI-powered editing tool to make content creation more efficient. Smart Split will automatically clip, reframe, caption, and transcribe longer content into multiple short videos ready for TikTok. For example, Smart Split That's a tongue twister. I can't even say it. Smart Split can help creators cut their day in a live vlog or a podcast episode into multiple clips. I wonder if it'll work for, I don't know, 60 by 9 videos like this, and it will just clip it up for you into a TikTok format. That'd be neat. To get started, creators can upload content over 1 minute long and select the parts they'd like to convert into shorter clips. Based on the selected part, Smart Split can automatically choose a video length, or creators can be specific length for the videos. They can choose a range of captioning options, reframe the content into vertical clips. Okay, I guess it will. Once Smart Split creates these clips, creators can select a video to upload straight to TikTok. Okay, they're also rolling out AI Outline, a new AI-powered creation tool that makes the creative process easier. An AI Outline helps creators structure their content by generating video titles, hashtags, hooks, and outlines by inputting a prompt or selecting a highly searched topic in the creator search insights. AI Outline gives creators a more in-depth idea of how to structure their content to help support their creative projects. So here you can see you enter a description, baking lessons for beginners, then it will kind of give you an idea, some titles, some hashtags to use, and then you can refine it with AI too. That's pretty cool. Finally, they're announcing rewards. So a revenue share update to their subscription product, making it possible for creators to receive up to 90% of the profit payout. Subscription allows TikTok creators to build stronger, more engaged communities while monetizing through a monthly subscription fee to access perks like badges, subscriber-only posts, chat features, and more. Now, after fees, creators receive 70% of TikTok's revenue share, and those who meet other requirements, 10K followers, 100K views in the last month, and 3+ subscription-only videos posted in the last month can unlock an extra 20% monthly reward on top of that. Cool. So more opportunities for creators inside of TikTok. That's cool. If you ever got fed up with editing stuff, this might be for you. Okay, bit of story out of left field here. China submerges a data center in the ocean to conserve water. Is that even a good idea? This is from Gizmodo. So data centers are water and power hogs, but does putting them in the ocean help? Okay, before we start this article, I actually don't know what it's going to say. I haven't read it, but with data centers, a lot of them use kind of a circular system. So the water that's in is kind of used and it just circulates. Actually doesn't suck up new water all the time, and it's just like spilling out dirty water at the other end. That isn't how it works. We'll see. Data centers like that used to train and run AI models have this irksome tendency to local water supply for the purpose of cooling through heat exchange, sometimes worsening water scarcity in the area. They also suck down so much energy that they drive up demand, and it appears we may be paying for it with higher water bills. Is this true? I don't know. Let me ask. Let's use the assistant. If you're watching this now, what do you think? Is it true? Is this consume 2 million of water per day, similar to the Goanese. Okay. Do they not use? Sorry for the sidetrack. I just want to check. Close it work on not all facilities, not all water usage is recirculated. Okay. Cool. We can do some more research on that another time. Many legacy and even new facilities still waste lots of water via our evaporation and cooling towers. Circular closed loop and recycled water systems become more standardized. Transition is still ongoing. The industry is not fully water circular yet. Okay, cool. Leading operators, AWS, Google, and Microsoft, anticipate water positive operations within the decade. All right, makes sense. Let's move on. They also suck down. Okay, we've read that. Maybe the solution is right under our noses. Submerge the data center in the ocean and power them with wind. I'm not sure wind-powered data centers are going to cut it, to be honest. Maybe, though. In Shanghai's Lingang special area, a new project that costs you $226 million has proven that such a project can at least get through the early phase of construction. In theory, this will be sort of a free lunch for compute once it's completed. Water ceases to be an issue, as does the data center carbon footprint. But is this actually a good idea? Reports about the project have been published in a few places, including Wired, and the facility, Wired's story notes, currently has a total power capacity of 24 megawatts. That's like a normal pre-AI data center, according to a report by McKinsey, which notes that data centers have an average tens of megawatts before 2020. So 95% of the center's energy comes from wind turbines. So the energy that comes from wind that is then wired in rather than having wind power generating station installed right at the data center. So the founders of this startup, they're called Network Ocean. So they would dunk a small capsule filled with GPU servers into San Francisco Bay, but did also without having sought, much less received, any permits from key regulators. Okay, this could trigger toxic algae blooms and harm wildlife. And data center doesn't have to be huge to cause problem. Any increase in temperature is a potential problem. It could incubate harmful algae and attract invasive species. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how feasible this is. It looks like they're giving it a try in China at least. So maybe they can experiment and they can let us know. Let us know how that goes. So, and talking of data centers, Amazon launches AI infrastructure project to power Anthropic's Claude model. So we see these all the time, but there's a big project now called Project Rainer, and has added that artificial intelligence firm Anthropic will use more than 1 million chips of infrastructure by the end of the year. So on Wednesday, it has launched its compute cluster project called Rainer. I don't know where it is. The tech giant has started Project Rainer last year to build an AI compute cluster spread across multiple data centers in the US. The compute incorporates 500,000 of Amazon's in-house Trainium 2 chips. As AI models advance, cloud firms such as Amazon's Web Services are scaling up, and they're backed by Amazon. So Anthropic, backed by Amazon, is using Project Rainer's compute cluster and build it and deploy its latest AI model, or in its AI model Claude. The AI firm will scale to use more than 1 million Trainium 2 chips across Amazon's Web Services, AWS, by the end of the year. The compute power will also be used for future versions of Claude, Amazon said. Okay, that's on Yahoo Finance. Okie dokie. Let's skip into some timeline related stuff. Let's go over to X. OpenAI introducing character cameos that are now available in the Sora app. This comes to after Sora 2 launch with the mobile app Sora. If you're in the EU, you haven't got access to it, but now they've just released Sora character cameos, and here's what they can do. Okay, that is character cameos now available in Sora. Here is a little post of how you can create it. All you need to do is this is demoed by Lil Krabby. Actually, let's watch this too. Got a software demo by a crab. Okay, that's cool. There's more you can stitch. There's more stitching and leaderboard now available inside of the Sora app, as demonstrated by this frog. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Okay, cool. That's cameos now available inside of Sora, or character cameos now available inside of Sora. This is a cool product. Dr. Fonts launches the world's first AI font generator. V1 is live now. That's cool. So you actually create custom fonts. This was previously not a very easy thing to do. But obviously, if you can build your own font, that's great. And one famous one is from Visualize Value from Jack, who has created a font which he uses for all of his stuff. And now you can build your own with Dr. Fonts. This is drfonts.com. This is the site. Search, build, and find any font. So you can find them. I guess you can navigate to them. A dashboard, your studio here, complete overview of your projects and folders, just like the real Dr. Fonts with recent cards and folders. Okay, build a font, edit glyphs, and render. Palette Genius color that works together. And Dr. Font's chat, ask about typography. Cool. This makes sense to me. Very nice product, or seems like a nice product indeed. Memory for AI is, I think, one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest opportunities for people building in the space, but also one of the most useful things for people using AI. So let's say you chat with ChatGPT, you chat with Perplexity, you chat with Claude. Each of those products are going to be using separate memories to help create a better experience for you. Now, there's tools like Mem Zero and Super Memory, for instance. They will bring all of your memories together, or you can use a unified memory in your apps, or this is what they're offering. So you can bring the memories with you. So if an app builds with Mem0 and another app builds Mem0, then you can bring those memories across. And they've just raised $24 million to build the universal memory layer for AI. Thousands of teams in production, 40 million downloads, 41,000 GitHub stars. Intelligence needs memory, and we're building it for everyone. Here is the video from Taranjeet. Here we are. Like it. Simple video. We've seen a lot of videos from companies, from startups for funding and raising announcements that are just kind of, they don't feel like over the top, but they're very like overproduced. They're like cinematic. This is just sit down, talk about the product, and I like it. Congrats to Taranji and the Mem Zero team. It's a killer product indeed. Actually, here's the site. Memory for AI agents, the memory layer for your AI apps. Go to mem0.ai. Here is the site, and you can learn more about it if you want. Okie dokie. Next post. Designing your home should feel like The Sims. Introducing HomeFig, a sketch to render in 2 minutes versus 2 hours with traditional CAD. Using real products carried by small and big box retailers, starting with ultra fast, intuitive kitchens. Real world building featuring procedural modeling in 3JS. No worries. Prices. Yo, that's insanely cool. This is made by Nikolai, and he's building homefig.com. Let me see if I can actually. This looks absolutely incredible. Kitchen design in 2 minutes. Join the waitlist. Very simple website, but that demo was incredible indeed. Congrats uh, to Nikolai. Give him a follow on X. This was inspired in large part by the work of Anastasia has done with tiny glades. So much user action can be axed away with procedural parametric modeling techniques borrowed from the video game industry. Okay, private beta right now. If interested in trying, please join the waitlist at homefeed.com. Interested in chatting with interior designers, building supply retailers, and or anyone going through a remodel, open for feedback generally. Incredible. What a great tool. It feels like a use case that's perfect for AI, and Nikolai has gone and built it. Well played. Amplitude. AI is the new search. That's why we've launched Amplitude AI Visibility. See what your favorite AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude AI, and Google AI Overview are saying about your brand, and make sure customers find you, not your competitors. Okay. This is one of the new hot kind of tools or industries or type of startups that are getting traction at the moment. And that is making sure that your brand or your company or your product shows up in AI LLM search results. So if somebody's looking for something inside of Gemini, you want your brand to show up. And because the actual amount of search results is more limited than previously, someone was searching for Google, it's actually very important. So there is tools out there that do this exclusively. Amplitude are launching this as a free tool. So they help companies unlock the power of their products. Here's the video, and then we're going to talk about kind of the flip side of why this may or may not be a good thing. There's obviously different grades of these type of apps too, which we'll mention in a sec. Okay, so you get the idea. This is just about helping you know how your brand is showing up in search. Now, there is a side take to this, and this is from um, Class, who builds PromptWatch. PromptWatch is a dedicated platform to do this and actually doing extremely well. Highly recommend going to promptwatch.com. And here's kind of the reason why this is getting so big. He says the real reason PromptWatch got so big is simple. We invested in tracking real AI traffic at scale. We've already collected over almost 100 million plus ChatGPT citations, clicks, and search bots from real users. Tracking GPT citations in real time, monitoring prompts that they actually used, optimize content that gets traffic. Their thesis is all search will be AI search. Personalization in search will move the tracking to the client site, hence in the analytics. A lot of the traditional SEO methods will stay the same, but tracking will completely change. Impact of social media on search will increase. Okay, so here's a walkthrough of their platform. You can see all of the website performance, the prompts related to citations. They've got brand book, competitors, personas in there too. You got a visibility percentage, which is great. Crawler visits, citations across different platforms. Yeah, this looks super good. So it's quite competitive. It's quite competitive space. A lot of companies, a lot of startups wanting to compete and just taking slightly different approaches. I can vouch for this one in particular. But this was what Klaus said. He said, I must admit, I did not expect pre-AI startups to go in the AI search space. Since they pitch Claude, it's very clear they just scrape API data, so it's completely useless, but interesting to see them try. So this is a post from Spencer. We've just made Amplitude's first free product, introducing AI visibility, SEO for LLMs. Customers using search engines less than AI more for finding what companies they should work for. AI visibility's queries, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and scores how your company shows up. They say if they offer visibility on Claude, why does that automatically mean they're hitting their API? Because Claude has no public interface. Public as in you don't need to log in. Okay, cool. Yeah, interesting point. It feels like a new battleground across AI search. Some people call it Geo, some people call it Leo. This is SEO for LMs, which is going to be a fairly competitive era to launch. If you check YC, you can see a number of companies doing this too. Okie dokie. Let me see. I think I've got one more. There we go. Okay. This is an interesting post from Dixon Sai, who found this on Reddit. It says, this is by far the best post on advanced Claude code usage I've ever seen. Tapping the power of hooks to context engineer and prevent slop. The only thing missing is that OP, the original poster, can use plugins, agents, hooks, commands, and MCP to distribute their amazing work. So let's take a look at this. This is a slightly more technical post. So if you are a dev or anyone using Claude Code, which I'm sure some of you are, then this will be interesting to you. Basically, Claude Code is a terminal type interface that you can use to kind of do anything. It sits on your in your project, and you can control. You can move folders around, you can code apps, you can code websites, you can use it to do research. It's kind of like a general purpose AI tool that lives on your Mac. And here are the tips for it. So, quick pro tip from a fellow lazy person. The title, by the way, is Claude Code is a Beast. Tips from 6 months of hardcore use. Quick pro tip from a fellow lazy person. You can throw this book of a post into one of many text-to-speech AI services like 11 Labs Reader or Natural Reader and have it read the post for you. Many of you are asking for a repo, so I'll make an effort to get one up in the next couple of days. Okay, cool. So here's a disclaimer. I made a post 6 months ago sharing my experience after a week of hardcore use with Claude Code. It's been 6 months of hardcore use. I'd like to share some more tips, tricks, and word vomit with you all. I went a little overboard, here. So strap in, grab a coffee, sit on the toilet, or whatever it is you do when doom scrolling Reddit. Okay, so he's on the 28x max plan. So your mileage may vary. If you're looking for vibe coding tips, you should look elsewhere. If you want the best out of Claude Code, then you should be working together with it, planning, reviewing, iterating, exploring different approaches, etc. After 6 months of pushing Claude Code to its limits, solo rewriting 300,000 lines of code, here is a system I built, skills that actually auto-activate when needed, dev.docs workflow that prevents Claude from losing the plot, PM2 plus hooks for zero effort, less behind, PM2, I'm not sure what that means, army of specialized agents for reviews, testing, and planning. So he's an engineer. He obviously knows his stuff. He's not worried about AI taking his job, but he's fully embraced AI. So he started off with a refactor. And one of the recurring uses that he noticed, or complaints that he noticed, were people experience frustration with usage limits and concerns about quality declining over time. Okay. So here he says, now let's be real, there actually is a time when Claude completely misses the mark. And first AI models are stochastic, meaning you get widely varying outputs from the same input. Sometimes the randomness just doesn't go your way. So you get the outputs legitimately poor quality through no fault of your own. Other times it's about how the prompt is structured. There can be a significant differences in outputs giving slightly different wording because the model takes things quite literally. Okay, so sometimes same prompts get different outputs. It's not your fault. You just need to kind of re-prompt often. You can hit the double escape to bring out your previous prompts, select one in branch form. You're amazed how often you can get way better results armed with the same knowledge of what you don't want when giving the same prompt. All that to say, there can be many reasons why the output quality seems worse. It's good to self-reflect to consider what you can do. Okay. As a wise dude said, ask not what Claude can do for you and ask what context you can give Claude. Sun Tzu or something, I said that. So basically, this is a very long post. It goes through the aha moment using hooks, how they work. You can use a skills rule.json configuration. It's an example snippet for you there. It shows through some of Anthropic's best practices, the hard way for restructuring things like front-end dev guidelines, back-end dev guidelines. Also, there's like a skill MD file that he recommends using, which keeps it to under 500 lines. Okay. And some skills. So skills he's created: front end and back end dev guidelines, a skilled developer, a meta skill for creating more skills. Skills are basically like you can type slash and then write blog posts, and it's got independent guidelines on how to write that blog post. Domain specific, complex work engine patterns. So workflow developer, notification developer, database verification, project catalog developer. And these matters because they have independent knowledge. Basically, Claude would use old patterns even though it documented new ones. This is before skills and hooks, and then after. So it's taking things from manually checking things, inconsistent code, spending too much time fixing Claude, and now he's with these skills, this layout, he's got consistent patterns, self-correcting, trusting the guidelines, and spending way less time on code reviews and fixes. Then we can just whiz through this quickly so you can see the rest of the post. You've got Claude MD documentation evolution, what moved to skills, what stayed inside Claude.md, which is now laser focused on project specific info. Here's a new structure. We've got a devs doc system. We've got a planning process, got PM2, process management, backend debugging, game changer. What else has he done? A hook system, hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, hook 4 for error handling, the complete hook pipeline, hook 1 through to the result, which is amazing. We've got some scripts. We're using Super Whisper. So he's doing this with voice input. We've got a memory MCP, using scripts for everything, documentation, prompt tips. And then we've got agent hooks slash commands, more hooks, more slash commands, and then a nice conclusion to round off. 1.3K upvotes. And that's an epic breakdown. Shout out to, who's his name? Actually, who is the original poster? Let's see. Joke Gold 5455. If you're watching this, Joke Gold 5455, I'd love to get you on to chat about how you use it, and maybe we can showcase it too. I don't know. Is this Diet 103? Okay. Looks like we don't know who he is, but I'd love to meet him. But that is everything that I've got for you today. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow. 2 p.m. CET, and from next week we'll be starting some more interviews and demos. We're going to build out the stream from 1 hour up to hour and a half, potentially even 2 hours. So enjoy the rest of your day and your evening, depending where you are in the world, and I'll catch you at the same time